Today, I'm going to be making 4 classic Fallout weapons in a low poly style with Blender. I've been doing Blender on and off for almost a year, and I thought this would be a fun way of practicing and improving my skills. I'll be reading facts about the weapons to use the time-lapse plays. The first weapon I'm going to be modeling is the assault rifle, also known as the AK-112. I hope you enjoy. The AK-112 assault rifle is a military assault rifle. It was in use during the early 21st century, but was replaced by more modern models. Chambered for the 5mm round, it utilizes a 24-round magazine. The AK-112 was eventually considered aged and was no longer in use prior to the Great War. The AK-112 is a decent weapon, with mid-ranged bursts of hollow point rounds being able to slice through even combat armor. However, the AP rounds are not effective against anything above metal armor. With a range comparable to the Colt Rangemaster, and a very common ammunition type, except at the beginning of Fallout 2, the AK is an excellent complement to the CZ-53 personal minigun and the Avenger minigun. The weapon was originally named the Colt Rifle in the beta version of Fallout. The AK-112 can fire single shot or burst using the high velocity 5mm rounds. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. We are now moving on to the combat shotgun, also known as the Winchester City Killer combat shotgun. The City Killer is a pretty powerful close-range weapon, outclassing pretty much every other small gun except the AK-112 loaded with JHP rounds. There are better options for destroying enemies at close range, but the combat shotgun's ammunition type is far more common and efficient compared to 5mm or flamer fuel. In Fallout 2, the combat shotgun is largely overshadowed by the superior H&K CAWS, and later by the Pancor jackhammer, especially considering the slavers near Vault City carry CAWS shotguns much earlier than merchants or other enemies start carrying city killers. The Winchester City Killer has an optional Desert Warfare environmental sealant modification for extra reliability. We are now moving on to the XL70E3. The XL70E3 was an experimental weapon at the time of the war. Manufactured primarily from high-strength polymers, the weapon is almost indestructible. It's light, fast-firing, accurate, and can be broken down without the use of any tools. The XL70E3 has superior damage per shot compared to the AK-112 assault rifle, albeit inferior in range and capacity. The XL70E3 sees decreased efficacy against advanced power armor, but will fare better against lesser armored enemies in the wasteland. The XL70E3 is based on the RSAF Enfield XL70E3, a prototype version of the SA-80 family of firearms adopted by the British Armed Forces in 1987. Unlike its fictional counterpart, The SA-80 is chambered for 5.56 NATO ammunition. We are now moving on to the Plasma Defender, also known as the Glock 86 Plasma Pistol. The Glock 86 Plasma Pistol, designed by the Gaston Glock Artificial Intelligence, shoots a small bolt of superheated plasma powered by a small energy cell. The Glock 86 Plasma Pistol is a powerful energy-based handgun, being able to punch through many low-level critters and most types of armor with ease. Even late into Fallout 2, it still deals a decent amount of damage to Wanamingos and Enclave soldiers. In Fallout New Vegas, the Glock 86 Plasma Defender reappears as the Plasma Defender. we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these weapons. I'll be making more soon. If you have any 2D games you want me to remake the weapons from, let me know in the comments.